Good morning, guys. Today we are actually going to be exploring Baytown's Garth Road. Now, if you could smell this video right now, you'd be getting hungry. So one of the best restaurants here in Baytown, in my opinion, and my wife's opinion, and about half my family's opinion, it's going to be El Toro Mexican Restaurant. They've got one here at the very beginning of Garth Road where we intersect with Decker, and then there's another one on North that we will visit. One of their newer locations, a lot nicer, a lot bigger, patio seating, just fancier in general. This is the start of Garth Road. If you go just down Decker this way, you'll run into Lee College, Lee High School, all down that way. And then of course, going north on Garth takes you to every other business pretty much in Baytown. We are going to explore the entirety of Garth Road today from Decker Road here on the south side of Baytown. Some people call it Old Baytown, all the way up to 1942, which is on the far north side. People can't drive in Baytown, as with anywhere else. But we're going to explore that entirety. There's quite a few businesses I want to show you today. Along the route, I will also stop and show you neighborhoods that everybody enjoys, different price points, things of that nature. But one thing Baytown does have that I have never really explored, but it is something if you are a biker of some sort. There's little bridges and pathways all through Baytown. They've got a name for it. I'll post a link down below to the Parks and Rec division where you can look up more information if you're a bike rider. But tons of trails all through Baytown that are maintained by the city. So something to consider if you are a biker, like pedal biking, not motorcycle kind. But I will see you at the next stop. All right, we are here at the intersection of 330 and Garth Road in this side of town, just to the south side of 330. We are going to be looking at roughly 150,000, pretty much all sub $200,000 properties. Along there's 4 or 5 streets right here. One cool thing about this particular intersection, this was the Blockbuster here in town for my entire childhood. You can rent furniture and stuff like that, like cons, I guess. But this was our local Blockbuster for first 20 years of my life. So if you are looking for the sub $200,000 price point, the south side of 330 is probably where you're going to end up. Lots of cute little houses, usually sub 2,000 square feet, older homes, but it's a house. So if you're looking and you're wanting to stay under $200,000, south side of 330, that's where you go. All right, so we have made it about a quarter of the way through Garth Road. We are in the parking lot for Sky Zone, which is actually a new, I think it opened 2-3 months ago, but a new indoor trampoline park. They've got slides and all kind of cool stuff. If you want to see from the perspective of a 9-year-old, my son, we were here yesterday actually, and he did a speed run through it. You can see on his YouTube channel. I'll link it, I don't know, wherever that happens on the page. This particular parking lot normally does pretty good. I think Sky Zone will be here for a while. There used to be a good pizza place right here, all closed down. But across the street, where it says Always Bueno, was originally constructed as a Krispy Kreme donut, and that lasted, I think, maybe 6 months. So if you're opening a business, probably wouldn't put it in that parking lot. But Joe V's, tons of new construction actually happening. If you take a left at the light here, you will go down and there's actually new construction, which is Kalina Homes, pretty much the only new construction option this side of I-10. And I just realized that I said I-10 up there. Dang it. Anyway, I just realized that I said I-10 back there. That was actually 330 and Garth. I-10's on north. So if you're looking for new construction and you're on the south side of I-10, you're definitely going to be at Kalina Homes. And then there's a ton more new construction options on the north side of 10, but we will get there in a moment. Again, if you want to check out Sky Zone from the inside, link down below to my kiddo's account. He would love for you to watch and like and subscribe, all that fun stuff for his channel. We will see you up north. Oh, and honorable mention here. So this big building is actually the tallest building in Baytown. That is the Amagi Bank building. a ton of stuff in there. Didn't ever realize it. My title lady, her office is actually in the building, Miss Vivian. Super appreciate you. And again, we'll see you at that next stop. We have made it to the second entertainment spot here in Baytown for kiddos. Back there we had the new jumping indoor trampoline park. Here we have AR Entertainment. This is a location where they've got video games, a little playhouse, glow-in-the-dark putt-putt, ice skating. So there's lots to do here in Baytown for your kiddos. And then if you look way far over there, there's a bar called The Shoot. That's where I think they actually allow under 18 there, or under 21, maybe 18 and up, I don't know. A little country dance bar, they do a Tejano night, all kind of fun stuff. And then this, of course, is Baytown's main hospital. It's a Houston Methodist Baytown Hospital, recently acquired. And when I say recently, I think the last 5 years. They were acquired by Methodist. Before that, they were the East San Jacinto Hospital, I believe. They have done some absolutely amazing expansion. They offer tons of state-of-the-art treatment for all the same stuff that you can get down in Houston. But we are in the middle of Garth at this point. We've got a Target, Best Buy, of course AR, and Homes, both directions. If you go just east of here is where our high school, Sterling High School, is gonna be. Right at the very beginning of Garth, you had Lee High School and Lee College. Here's gonna be Sterling just down this street. And then way at the far end, we'll get closer to our Goose Creek Memorial, which is the third high school. So we are a 3 high school town. But it's pretty much all for this parking lot. There's a CC's back that way. That's good, got good cinnamon rolls. But let's jump over to the next spot and I'll see you there. Guys, there is absolutely no doubt that Baytown has to have per capita the largest number of fatties. I say that because we have some good eating in this town, right? This is just on Garth Road, but we have Roma Ristorante Latino, however you say that. Anyway, I've eaten there 3 times in the last week. I think they opened about that point in time. Absolutely fantastic Italian food. They will be our new sponsor for all of our events that we do for the Little League. Get us some good eating. We also have right here a Bay Poke, which is like sushi bowls. They call it a poke bowl. Absolutely delicious. All right, we have 888 Chinese, which is probably the best Chinese food that I've ever eaten. Not that I've eaten a whole lot of different or any sort of authentic Chinese food, but really good food there. All right, this is in the parking lot just across the street from Walmart. Also, you can see it peeking over. We've got the Home Depot there. This is kind of the main shopping center in town, right? All of the different options to eat. You got Pipeline, Marble Slab, the 888 Chinese, the Italian place. I've got a dialysis center, Petco. Everything you could possibly need is probably in this, I don't know, mile-long stretch of Garth. Of course, there's tons of options elsewhere. Across the street, we've got Raising Cane's. But all I'm trying to say is if you're looking to find somewhere to live where you have options to eat, Baytown's got it, right? We chunky here. Like it that way. So if you know of any better restaurants, there are always openings because, of course, restaurants fail, the time. But that don't mean they're not good. They just run into issues. This Italian place, fantastic. Again, can't say enough great things about it. But that is the food parking lot. We've also got Old Navy, all that kind of stuff. You'll see it from the drone video, hopefully. Wind's starting to pick up. Probably won't be able to do drone footage for the rest of this tour today, but I will see you at the next stop. All right, here we are at that upgraded, brand new El Toro right here in the center of Garth Road. This one was built 4 or 5 years ago. I'm totally making up timelines. I don't know. It's been here for a minute, but it is fantastic. We eat there after church every Sunday, or most Sundays. All right, we have made it to the next parking lot. This one has Kroger, and then across the street is HEB, so tons of great shopping options. This is one of the big, nice Krogers. That is one of the big, nice HEBs over there. And then we have Academy. I did not realize when I started this video, I guess I knew, but I didn't realize that there are pretty much no houses on Garth in between 330 and I-10. So we'll see some houses at the very end. But Garth Road does have a ton of shopping, tons of food. Again, we fatties out here. When you come in to visit, if you bring your pups, Candlewood Sweets, which is right here across from Kroger, is pretty much one of the only ones that will allow you to bring your pets. I think there's actually one more that's on I-10, but for the most part, that's the only option. Got our funeral home right across the street. That's where my mom works. But in this parking lot, there is, of course, the Kroger, but then behind Kroger and the entire street back behind, which is gonna go into the next stop that we make, but they're building tons of apartments right behind Garth Road. So this is the main thoroughfare, and then just behind it is where they're going to have just a ton of new apartment complexes to try and help with Baytown's population growth, just because there are so many people moving to this area. Having all those apartments in the area does help keep the cost of living down for those who are willing to live in apartments. If you are looking for a house though, there are new construction options starting, I think in Baytown, about the cheapest things, about a $260 right now. And then of course we have resale homes on the south side, which are as low as the 150s, and then houses all through Baytown on up to the $1 million homes, plus whenever you get on the water. So if you've got any questions, of course, give me a call, leave a comment, let me know what I can do for you. See y'all at the next stop. All right, we have made it to the farthest north on Garth that you can go before you hit I-10, which is just behind us. You'll see this is actually the location of the new San Jacinto Marketplace. They built a mall back in the 80s. They just tore it down probably 2-3 years ago. And now we are getting, some would call a mall, I guess. It's gonna have a Sam's, it's gonna have some food options, a couple of the stores from that parking lot just next door. There is gonna be a Portillo's, probably saying that wrong, but that's really the main thing that I can think of that's coming that isn't literally already in town, outside of the Sam's Club, which of course I don't think is a mall, but I digress. This is, again, just that northern side of Garth before we get to I-10. There are some townhomes back behind the strip center here across the street, but otherwise not a whole lot of houses in this middle section of Garth. But you see Buc-ee's way over there. You probably can't see it in the video, but if you look at my other videos, you'll see I go to Buc-ee's all the time. This Texas Roadhouse is one of the things that will be in the new section. They're gonna move that Texas Roadhouse right there to this location right here. There's a dirt path literally right next to me. So they're moving it 10 feet. I don't know, I guess rent maybe is too high. This place stays packed, so it might be just so they can sell more steaks. Anyway, but again, more places to eat across the street. We've got Olive Garden, Buffalo Wild Wings. Really, Baytown is a foodie's paradise. There's every option you could think of. If you're looking to move to the area, of course, give me a call. I'd love to help you find exactly which part of town fits your needs the most. And I will see you at some houses next time. I think we're gonna end up in Springfield because that is our next stop. All right, we have made it to Springfield, which is first neighborhood on Garth, apparently. I didn't, again, realize that. But there are a ton of homes all around here, right? There's a school right across the street. That's a Victoria Walker. We have Springfield Estates, which is the little bit higher end section. And then Springfield is the huge section that you would have seen in the flyover. But there's just a ton of houses. None of it right here is really new construction, but it is all houses. This is all gonna be somewhere in the 250s to 400,000s in this area. To my left is gonna be a little bit older homes and therefore cheaper for the most part. And then to my right here in Springfield, Springfield is actually the #1 turnover in our area. This is where a lot of people who are coming to town end up buying just due to central location, and then they end up spreading out throughout the rest of the city as time goes on. But if you're looking for a home in Springfield, or along I-10, Garth Road, Baytown, wherever in Texas. Whew, that scared the hell out of me. But if you're looking for a home, I'd love to help you out. I will see you at the very end of Garth Road, about a mile that way. See you in a second. We had one more neighborhood, actually a whole series of neighborhoods. So these are all Lennar neighborhoods at Baytown Crossing. This is the most recent development. They build them up quick, sell them fast. It's Lennar. There's a house for everybody. Lennar is a national home builder. They build a decent house for the person who likes Lennar. I'll leave it at that. But these neighborhoods, I think they've built something 2,000 or 3,000 houses in the last 4 years right here at this Baytown Crossing. Values don't go up very fast, but they are a decent sized home at a relatively cheap price. And they have these nice parks, which is cool, I guess, if you're gonna be stuck here for a while. But this is the last set of houses on I-10, so I certainly appreciate y'all hanging out with me. The last intersection is a gas station, so I'll go down there and just so you can say you've seen all of Garth Road. But this is a Lennar neighborhood, right? This one's actually really pretty, so wouldn't be the worst place to get stuck. But just on the other side of the street, in the neighborhood that you would have seen on the other side of the road next to the school, those homes have been there for probably 3 years, and they've gone up in value about $0. I've had to turn down 3 listings because just their price point has not gone up, so they're unable to sell. So something to keep in mind, if you're gonna be here for a short time, consider elsewhere. And it might be just the market in general has been relatively slow as far as equity increasing in the last 3 years. We had so many years of 20+% interest or 20+% value increases. So I think the market is catching up to itself. God, my car's dirty. Apologies for that. But here's the Amazon guy, I'm in his way. All right, anyway, I'm rambling at this point. I will see you at the very end of Garth Road. All right, guys, we have made it. We have officially gone all the way down Garth Road. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I know that at this intersection, there's not a whole lot happening, but 1942 is the connection from Mont Bellevue way down that way, and then that will actually run into Highlands, Barrett Station area. There's normally a pretty good shaved ice place right here, but it's not there right now. It is cold outside, so that kind of makes sense. But if you have any questions about the Baytown area, you can now say you've seen probably 95% of what Garth Road has to offer. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me today, and I will see you on the next video.